Hey, it's Terry and Jen.
I'm Terry. That's Jen.
And he made dessert without asking me if I wanted any. And it's like I told him, it could have been Brookie.
You wouldn't want any of what I made. It's weird.
What is it?
It's like one of those mug cakes.
Yes, but what is it?
But there's... I don't remember the exact kind of mug cake. I didn't read the packaging.
You can't taste it and tell me what it is?
It's mug cake. That's not the point.
It smells like... It's oatmeal.
Uh-huh. It does have oatmeal going on with it, but that's not the point.
Terry, all we could see was your ear. Yuck.
I have an ear for the audience.
I don't have a mouth for that.
Of course not.
Well, this is day 8 that I have been in the house. And I am planning on staying inside until further notice. I do have diabetes and high blood pressure, so that does make me more at risk. So, anyway, we're going to talk about a few things. I got inspired for us to be doing these videos on occasion because of some friends who did a Hapkido lesson on Facebook today.
What is Hapkido?
It's some kind of martial arts stuff. Like, you take a banana... At least this is what one of the girls was doing. You take a banana and you...
And you stab somebody with it?
Yeah, and she said it's important to just, like, be aware of your surroundings because you might not always have a short stick when you're walking down the street and somebody attacks you. So you might have to look for something there because you might not have your banana with you. Something like that.
I think anything would be better than the banana.
I think so, too. Anyway... It was hilarious. At the very end, they were doing this, like, little meditation. Oh, wait, left hand goes on top. They were doing this little meditation thing, and all 4 of them were sitting on the floor, and the cat came in and started walking around with this expression like, what in tarnation are you all doing?
What in tarnation?
What in tarnation?
I thought you said harnation.
Why would I say tarnation?
I don't know.
I'm a hick, not an idiot.
Idiot.
Moving along, another friend of mine posted a video on Facebook of how to use the treadmill without going to the gym. I do not recommend this. He poured palm olive on the floor and put on socks and held himself up against the sink and moved back and forth until
things got sudsy.
Yeah. So I recommend that you do not do that.
It's a way to clean the floor.
So everybody is bored these days. And my husband is always eating or drinking something.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of my mom's complaints about him.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's our beginning of things, of our... do we want to talk about dinner?
Dinner.
Do you want to tell us what...
You're talking about the meal we just ate. Okay.
Yes.
Of course. It got too much water in it.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I think everybody has mismeasured something somewhere along the way in making dinner. And
you make it sound better than it really was.
It was like soup. You enjoy that thing too much. Mm-hmm. Way too much.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so we had beans and rice, and we used this boxed rice stuff. and he somehow mismeasured. Kind of reminded me of the time that Mom made hamburger helper when I was a kid, and we ended up kind of having hamburger helper soup because there was more liquid in it than anything else. So, yeah.
It was juicy.
Mm-hmm. Something that I'm doing on my Facebook page is a fun photo of the day to keep everybody's spirits up. Today's was a picture of me when I was about 12 years old. There was a recipe in our math book at school for cupcakes. So I got this idea I was going to try it. I thought it might give me extra credit, you know? So I tried them, and I did take a cupcake into my teacher. And then I decided, later on in the school year, I'm going to make those again. So, all was going well until I forgot the flour.
Yeah, that would not be good.
No, it was a bubbly mess. It was supposed to make 24, and somehow it made 12 cupcake messes.
So what did you actually make? Did you make pudding?
No, it was inedible.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. COVID-19 updates. You knew there had to be some, right? I really recommend everybody watch Dr. John Campbell on YouTube. He's got some great videos out there, including how to wash your hands. One of the things that he says is a lot of people forget in between. So when you're washing your hands, do this little Harry Potter thing. And he also says a lot of people forget the thumbs. So wash your thumbs. Pennsylvania has announced that they are closing all non-essential to life businesses. This does mean gas stations will stay open. And I have very good news for all you Karens out there. LuLaRoe is allowed to continue. Or your Monet, or your It Works, or Plexus, or whatever it is you're buying these days. It is not shut down. So, good news. I mean, we're quarantined. Doesn't everybody need to have a pearl party?
Yeah. Of less than 10 people.
But does that count with these online pearl parties where they take the oyster and open up the pearl and be like, yes, you just got yourself a pearl?
They do that?
Yes.
They I don't.
Well, that's what I said. Good news for all the Karens out there.
Oh, so Karen's like pearls.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
You do know what I mean when I say Karen.
Yes.
Okay, just checking. Stimulus checks. I think that we are going to be getting $1,200 from stimulus checks. Which is good news because we're having to self-pay for insurance right now, which brings me into my money making of the day for us. One thing that I do on my Facebook page is I have a list of sweepstakes that you can enter, and you can win some cool stuff with sweepstakes. And all these ones that I list, I get extra entries if somebody enters. So if you want to get a new hobby while you're stuck inside, you can go to my blog at www.booksbargainsblessings.com and click on sweepstakes and contests, and you can learn all about how to win cool stuff. See, what cool stuff have I won lately? The decapitated Colonel Sanders.
Oh. Was he decapitated?
Yeah, I took him out of the box to, take a picture, and his head fell off.
Oh.
He's right over there if you want to grab him.
Where? Like in here?
No, he's in his own box. Look behind there, Terry. Lift up that box. No, the other one.
The other box?
Yeah. Do you see him?
No.
Okay, lift up the bag of bags.
Bag of bags?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah, I set up this Colonel Sanders tree topper to take a picture of him because his glasses were broken off and his head fell off. Which, I mean, it's still cool. I can fix him and it'll be a great Christmas tree topper. I mean, doesn't everybody need Colonel Sanders on the top of their tree?
Mm-hmm. And then all the ornaments look like drumsticks and...
That would be super cool. What other cool stuff have I won over the years?
Lots of cool stuff. I mean, you want a bed.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about some of the fun stuff that people might be able to think, hey, if I could win a $10 Amazon card, I might be able to get this to entertain my kids. So I'm going to look through Jenn's links and see if there's anything I might want to win. Okay, moving along. Grocery stores. Right now, Kroger in Morgantown is limiting people to 2 packages of meat. One of my friends was able to get a package of ground beef and a package of lunch meat. Also, please be aware if there are people in stores that are buying a massive amount of stuff, you know, they could be toilet paper hoarders, which I don't think that's going to be happening anymore since most stores are putting limits on stuff. But there is a link that you can find out how much toilet paper you need per week. I'll leave that down below. If you're watching this on Facebook, click through to YouTube to get the links here. But we support a charity out in Arizona that helps feed hungry kids. You know, no questions asked. You know, if they don't have food, they get a backpack. Well, the lady that started it, her daughter had cancer and died, and it's in the daughter's memory, Corbin's legacy, because she was a school teacher and always wanted to make sure that the students in her class had a hot lunch. But Joan, the leader of it, was at the grocery store the other day, and she had 200 cans of Chef Boyardee in her cart. And some man said to her, I hope you die before you get all that eaten. So just be aware there are charities out there, you know, so don't just jump to conclusions about why people are buying stuff. Thankfully, most people, heard what they were doing, and a lot of people actually gave them donations right there in the grocery store. So, speaking of stores, you work at Sheetz.
Yes! Hold on.
Bringing Schwexy back.
Anyway.
He's Schwexy and he knows it. My Schwexy man.
This is getting awkward.
So you work at Sheetz.
Yes, I do.
And that will be open even if everything else shuts down in the country because it is a gas station.
Yeah, that is definitely something where, I mean, I assume that to be the case as a gas station. You know,
so, as a retail worker, what would you like to tell people and to have people know when they're coming in to buy stuff?
I guess I would just say there's a lot of demand for stuff and not so much supply right now. So if there's a store that's out of stuff, you know, maybe realize that they just can't get the stuff for their store, and don't be upset at the people at the store for what they are unable to provide you. And also, you know, just I would say to anybody right now that has to go out, just try to be clean and courteous and, yes. Yeah, wash the hands, sanitize the hands, um, you know, cover your coughs and sneezes with your elbow, and, just...
And don't go out if you have a fever. I've got this little thing right here, and look how easy it is to take a temperature, So don't go out if you have a fever.
Yeah. That's most of... It's most of what I would say. Just, be considerate of people around you.
Okay. One other coolly thing that I have that I want to mention, if you don't have one of these, I would encourage you to buy one. I will link to Amazon down below. If you do go through my Amazon link, I get a small referral fee at no cost to you, and we are having to pay extra for insurance for a while. So money is tight around here. It's tight for everybody. But let me talk about this little thing for a minute. You just put your finger in here. I'm sure you've done this at the hospital or at the doctor's office. And it tells you your oxygen saturation and your pulse. And right now you can see my oxygen saturation is 96 and 98 for my pulse. And if you get a low reading, that means your body's having trouble getting enough oxygen in. And because there are no real cures or medicines for this, this is a good indication of when you need to go to the hospital. If you think you have it, just quarantine yourself. You need to take a deep breath. Moving along. One of my friends posted a hilarious status update earlier. Twin A asked us if we had any butane. And Twin B is trying to print his own money from the family computer. We are doomed. Unfortunately, her boys are probably a little too old to be interested in this, although you never know. But Audible is doing Audible stories for free as long as schools are closed. And you don't get to download the books, but you can listen to them online. And I highly recommend Anne of Green Gables. I listened to that, the audio version that they have in their library last year. And it was fantastic. I don't know how I ever got through school without ever reading Anne of Green Gables. But why is this freezing?
I don't know.
Huh. It looks back now.
Yeah.
And for a final thing we're going to do tonight, some time ago we went to an Eastern European market in Harrisonburg, Virginia.
I have a quick question. What's a gable?
You've never heard of Clark Gable?
No. What's a green gable?
It's Clark Gable dipped in green paint.
Minty scented paint? Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. So there was a whole bunch of Clark Gables.
Problem solved.
There was a whole bunch of Clark Gables that were painted green around Anne. She was Anne of Green Gables. Before I was so interestingly interrupted, we had gone to a European market at some time back in Harrisonburg, Virginia. We bought a bunch of candy, and we've not tried all of them yet. And so when we do these videos, which most of them will be shorter than this one, just a lot of stuff to bring you up to date on. I mean, this is No Pants Day 8, So, of course, he has to wear pants to work, I mean, he's behind the counter, so you probably wouldn't notice, but...
I mean, so far as the store policy goes, we have to wear pants to work. It's subject to change. I don't want to speak for the company. You never know what's going to happen at times like these. So,
Did you see that dress that Linda posted on Facebook? Some like European royal from like the 1700s or something, and it's like it came down like this, and then it like went way out. She was like social distancing, 1700 style. But anyway, so we are going to finish our video of the night with trying out
Kopabka.
Something like that.
I think it sounds like Kopabka.
This is a Russian candy for the most part.
Kopabka.
For chew. For the most part, we have not been real impressed with Russian candy, but,
Let's see.
It's a little... We've had them for a while, so it's a little bit stale, but it kind of reminds me of a Kit Kat.
Mm-hmm. It's just a basic chocolate wafer candy. It's a little bit of a different kind of chocolate to it. Almost more of like a European chocolate, if you know what I mean.
It's got like a... Is it a little bit bitter taste to it? It's good.
I don't quite know how to describe it. Could it maybe be carob?
It could be. So any of my friends who speak Russian, and I do have some of them, if you know what this is, the flavor, let us know.
What? Babka?
Kebabka.
Kebabka.